evening, everyone. It's the West Ham Irons channel. I hope everyone's well and had a good day at work and time to relax. And thank you to anyone who's going to join me today. We're going to have another interesting chat and the latest update on what we're hearing and what we're feeling about the madness of the January transfer window. I'm joined by two esteemed guests who hopefully have become regulars and will be. First of all, it's hello to Matt. Matt, how you doing, sir?
Yeah, not bad, thanks, mate. How you doing, all right?
Yeah, hopefully you're near 100%, mate. I know you've been up and down with the old virus recently.
100% back to fighting fit now.
You're looking good. You're looking good, mate. And I saw your photos when your youth at Upton Park that you posted a couple of days ago with your mates.
Yeah. The old days when we used to be regulars. Now when we used to go all the time. Good memories, especially around those topsy-turvy seasons between the Championship and the Premiership. You know, they were good old years that we used to get around, you know, and can't beat, like I said, those 3 consecutive trips to Cardiff for the first and the third ones weren't too great, but the second one was certainly full of joy.
And I think, Matt, from the intro, the Matthew Evington goal would have brought memories back for you, that great winner. He took his shirt off and against Ipswich. That was one of those playoff matches. I think I remember that very, very well. The atmosphere in recent times, that game particularly has gone down as being one of the greatest nights. I don't know if you were there. I know a good friend James Fever was there that night. I don't know if you were there, mate.
I was there on the second away leg on the Tuesday night. Yeah, I was there when we were 1-0 down to Ipswich and we won 2-0 with Daly and Everington. I was there that night and it was absolutely banging, especially, you know, those late at night under the floodlights games at Upton Park, which always had some special magic about them, no?
I have a soft spot for Alan Pardew. I really rated him. I really like him.
Definitely.
Just unfortunately, I don't know why we had to buy Tevez and Mascherano. That disrupted the whole system, and we only recovered and we just about stayed up. And we stayed up with the players from the season before. None of those signings from the new money or anything from Iceland. It was the original people. It was really interesting listening to Bobby Zamora's interviews. He explains what went on during the season. And Alan Pardew, known as Chocolate, he loved himself so much. So
no, well, you know what? We actually played some really good football under Pardew. I have to admit.
Great signings as well, mate.
Yeah. Wasn't a bad manager.
He had to build a whole new team, didn't he? I mean, he had to get rid of all the big stars and Rio Coker and James Collins and Gabidon and Zamora, Etherington, bloody hell.
Well,
Harewood, everyone, yeah.
He certainly had a lot of drama in the season that he was with us, didn't he? It was.
Listen, it's West Ham way, Lou Macari betting scandal. When something's going right, something's going to come out of the blue at West Ham, and crazy, mate, absolute crazy. My other esteemed guest, it's James from Canada. How you doing, sir? You all right?
I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Glad you can join. And again, if you want to talk a little bit about your channel and particularly a great video you done yesterday on the David Moyes transfer strategy. So looking forward to hearing your views. So yeah, do shout out about what you get up to, mate.
Yeah, so what I get up to is I do this channel as quite often as I can. Obviously, with the time difference, and for example with Matt, really, the time difference, me being 7 hours behind the UK, I don't always get my information as quickly as other channels do in the UK, but still I like to post as quickly as I can with From the Anvil. When I initially came up with the channel's name, I was trying to think of something that was quite unique in a way, nothing that had Bobby Moore or West Ham or purple or whatever in it to do with West Ham. And I thought, well, since West Ham's got a hammer, it tends to be struck onto a hot anvil in like a steel factory or an iron factory, to be more specific. Let's say everything just comes fresh off the press, hot like an iron. So that was the initial goal with the channel. Since then, I've just expanded it. It's now got quite a lot of subscribers on it. I've built quite a big community with it as well in terms of going on other people's channels. And yeah, I just start to see where I go from it. I do transfers, opinions, social media reactions, game previews, game reviews, and some of the little bits in between.
No, I like it. I think you got good opinions, well researched, well spoken, and a bit different than anyone else. And what I like it's your own. You can tell you've done a lot of research into it. You've not just read a random magazine and report and read it line for line. So I really like that. And that's what it's all about: original content. And talking about name, I mean, I recently started 2 channels, as you know. So it's hard choosing channels that A, are original, and B, you don't want to upset your you kind of the family is sounding too much like that, really. So again, thank you for joining in. Before we get into the show, let's see what's happening in the comment section. Okay, there we go. Roy Chappell,
Hey, Roy.
good to see you. Great little badge there with the hammers there, mate. Brilliant. Okay, yeah, fair point. I know. Yeah, fair point, mate. And as usual, that famous Brazilian sort of UK-based agent Kia Jobson kind of used West Ham in a few times for his own benefit. Yeah, obviously I think he's got Coutinho as well, Matt, and a few of the others. So got the South American market all to himself. And Tevez again, yeah, he kind of put him up for sale in the shop window, didn't he? Really, it was never going to be ours, but we took the risk as we do, and that was that really. So yeah, welcome. Recognize this name, Steve. Oh God, Steve, Jesus Christ, Steve's up there using. Oh, Steve, yeah, Steve just clarified what Matt knew about the story with.
one of the few. That's one of many from what I've heard. So.
I knew Steve would get into that fairly quickly, mate. Join in, Steve. You got the link, son. Join in. Right, we're waiting for one or two guests to join. So what we're going to do, we're going to go, if anyone doesn't mind. Actually, no, I'll ask James first. Andrew, you're the guest.
Okay.
Guest first. Going to punch in one name on our special little website and hopefully get into it, mate. Yeah, give me a name, son.
Oh, what, in terms of transfer rumours?
Yeah, one particular player that you find really intriguing.
Someone that's been linked with Ben Brereton Diaz. Because we've got quite a bit.
Do you know something? That's the one I had up. That's the one I was going to talk about.
Oh.
So we can both. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, I found this one intriguing. Yeah, brilliant. And what I did was I actually I watched a bit of his footage here today as well, and going back to I believe and what we've heard that David does like him. I can see why. He's a good size, good height, fairly big. And before going to one of his other attributes, James, take it away, mate. Before I nick all the points, have a few discussions.
What I will say actually is, I'll say on a side note, I know someone in the UK I went to high school with whose dad actually was part of the Blackburn side that won the Premier League, so he keeps a lot of tabs on Blackburn. And what I can tell you is Brereton Diaz has had quite a whirlwind year. He's gone from being some English lad from a very small little town in England to playing for Chile. And the thing with playing for Chile is he hasn't actually been crap for them. He's actually been all right for them. And South American football, playing for if you play for a national team in South America, you're immediately welcomed and accepted as soon as you score your first goal, and you get a lot of a confidence boost. Now, he hasn't let that go to his head at all. People say that he's not ready yet or whatever. I completely disagree with that. He reminds me a little bit of Bowen. I think Bowen had to get 2 seasons to really get his foot in the door, but Diaz has done it a lot quicker. Why? Because he's had the international stage to do so, and the international stage was a lot more pressure for him, but he took it really well. He's just transferred what he's learned from playing with Chile to what he's now playing in the Championship. He's certainly quite a versatile player. He can play as a winger or as a forward. He's got a good eye for goal, and he's a player who, if you ask me, has a decent amount of skill and technical ability for his age. And it's got, like I say, it's come on quite a wild journey over the last year, but it's one that's helped his career, and he's still young and can go further.
Brilliant. Matt, do you want to add anything to that before I start?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I've got a couple of friends who are Blackburn fans as well, and last year they were trying to get rid of him, to be honest, because I think his goal scoring record was about 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 last year. So it was pretty poor last year, but it seems to have picked himself up pretty well this year. Maybe the change to being Ben Brereton Diaz, adding the second surname, as is the custom in Latin America. When he joined up to the Chile team, maybe that's spiced up his life a little bit and motivated him. And like we were saying, getting that international experience is massive, especially in a team like Chile, which is a big team. I mean, you've seen Marcelo Bielsa was there. the other coach, I've forgotten his name, that went to Atletico Madrid.
Not
Sampaoli.
He was
Sampaoli, yeah.
Argentina.
Yeah, Sampaoli was there. I mean, it's a good international team, and in a regional area, being, you know, in Latin America, it's a strong team. It's always come across as a strong team, even though. And he seems to have got a good goal scoring record for Chile, and finally been able to convert that into a very good goal scoring record this season. And I mean, I know Burton Diaz, they're talking about, is he good enough? We've bought good players from lower leagues before. We've also made a lot of mistakes buying strikers from the lower leagues that we've seen over those famous 40 strikers from Golden Sullivan's era, you know, that how many of those were from lower leagues that didn't really, you know, cut the mustard and live up to expectations. But to put into a counter argument, we bought Anderson, we bought Haller, you know, we bought Simone Zaza, who had high expectations, high transfer fees, great curriculums as players, and they didn't live up to it. So, I mean, you can argue that maybe we need a bigger name, or we need somebody who's got a better record, or, you know, maybe done a little bit more over more seasons, but maybe they've done their homework. Maybe behind the scenes they've been analysing a bit more with a bit of detail, you know, with Rob Newman, and maybe they like what they see, and they think that not only is his level good enough now, but like with anyone, you're looking at his potential growth for the future. So, I mean, if it is a real rumour and it is a real person that they're interested in, I think I would be confident in getting him. The only thing is that I think 25 million, I mean, there you're paying for his potential, not for his actual worth, you know. I think maybe he's a 15, 18 million pound striker right now. I wouldn't say he's worth 25 just yet. I don't think he's done enough to prove it. But you're paying for the future, you know.
I think, Matt, we're in a situation where we've just got to slap the cash on the table, mate, and buy someone.
Sure.
We can't. I know the traditional method would have been, if the club like Blackburn said 25, we would have started a bidding at 8 million. Then the next day we offer 9, 10, 11, and then Villa will come and say, here's 30. And, you know, we've got to just do it. I trust David Moyes. And when he's made his mind up, if I was the board, I'd say, thank God, mate, you like someone, let's just do it. Don't upset you, because if this one that gets out, David's going to take another 2 months to get the next one in. We're going to be in, you know, we're going to lose this momentum, really. So I would trust him. And what I've seen, obviously not in real sort of match, sort of online and YouTube, but I like it. I think he's got what I noticed, James, was he's got a fair amount of assists, so he's not too greedy. When he goes into a box and he sees someone in a better position, he gives it to him. That's always a good trait, I think. He's a penalty taker as well, Matt. I noticed there's a few penalties in there. 29 goals, 10 assists, 9 goals for Forest, 7, 22, good height, 3 goals in 9. And Chile, I don't regard Chile as. I regard Chile as being a really good international team, you know. Not a team to be. Because sometimes you get into an international team and some people, it's easy to get into their team. But no, Chile's got great pedigree, good players in the past. And if David wants him, I think it's a fair crack, personally. And he's not from another country. He's playing here. And hopefully he believes in his confidence. And I think David will do all the checks. These managers, especially him being one of the most experienced, he has definitely spoken to people, coaches who've coached him, who've played with him, colleagues. This small world out there, you'll definitely know about, you know, what's he like? Does he come in on time in training? What's his personal life? Is he settled with a partner, or does he go out a lot? And anyone through the door. Okay, Vlasic, we know he's up and down, but we know his character's really good.
He keeps himself to himself a lot. He doesn't talk about his family or anything. He just keeps himself to himself, which is all right.
I think that comment, Glenn, that's a bit. I mean, I know a lot of people are wound up, and a few of our colleagues are, but that's a bit harsh. Yeah. I mean, we will definitely buy a few players. I think it's just about, we hear different stories, like David's
But
taking his time. Yeah.
there's no one's buying anyone right now. It seems to be a global, whether we like it or not, the clubs are being careful right now. Globally, there's no one splashing the cash around right now. So I mean, it's
No.
easy for. I was listening to guys the other day saying we need 4 guys in, we need 3 guys in. We're not gonna do that. I mean, to be honest, we should be at least not satisfied, but I mean, we should be expecting 1 guy to come in, maybe a second. I mean, but looking at 3 or 4 is absolutely insane and ludicrous, and maybe people do it to get clicks or whatever. I'm not a big one for publishing my stuff on Twitter or YouTube. I don't really care. I just like to come on and talk with you guys, But it's just a lot of clickbait, because realistically, with the money that we probably have available, with the way that Moyes manages himself in the transfer market, we know that it's going to be 1 or 2. That's it. That is it. And at this moment, what we're looking for predominantly is striker and centre back. For me, with left back in the summer. That's the priority list for me right now. So I mean, striker, like James has said many times in the WhatsApp group, it's been a priority for 4 years now. So I mean, it's getting to the point now where it's getting a little bit silly. You know what I mean? I'm not a big one to jump on hating the board, because it's easy to judge. We don't know everything that goes on behind. I hear a lot of stuff from people I know, not only in West Ham but in other clubs, and it's very different what happens in the club, in a club, compared to very easy for us to judge. And okay, but realistically, this thing is the striker now. I mean, like you say, we've lumped it on Zaza. Well, it was a loan anyway, but an expensive loan. We stuck money on Anderson. We stuck money on Haller. It didn't work. And they all came abroad. They all came trying to adapt to the league. None of them really adapted well to the Premier League. Maybe this guy, I mean, if you can make it in the Championship, or maybe they're looking now and saying, you know what, let's go a little bit closer to home. Because, I mean, all of the other typical English strikers, like a Woods, like an Ings, for example, they've all moved around, and Armstrong, they've moved around. And obviously we know the English tax that's around, for a lot of young English players, almost 75 or double their maybe their worth. So, I mean, for me, it's not my money, but if you ask me between getting Brereton Diaz or no one, and he costs 25 million, I'd say go for it.
I think this is a 4th transfer talk show, I think, and what we wanted to do, unlike a few other channels, we didn't want to, like you said, go in seriously at that point in terms of links. What we did was we just spoke about players that are out there, their kind of strengths, features, weaknesses. We never really said, are we going to sign him? So looking at the date, it's the 20th, and I think it's time to begin to get a bit more personal in terms of players we think that because I think we do keep it underground in the club, but I think when you're coming into the last week into the window, then some of the news has to come out. And I believe this is a player that David likes. I could be totally wrong. I just think it's kind of Championship, and he's done well out of it recently, and he's a hard worker. He's a big guy, and I think James, you might know better than me. Is Ben certainly capable of playing up front by himself? Does he do that at Blackburn, mate?
Well, I used to play with Adam Armstrong, actually, when Blackburn had him still. And right now, he's got a link up with Sam Gallagher in the Blackburn team. I know that Blackburn's quite a team with a decent attacking threat, but it's mainly from their midfield that where they do things. Similar to us, they usually just feed balls into players. And that's one of the main reasons why I think Diaz has been successful, is because he's had balls fed into him a lot. And he's then looking after the rest. In terms of, do I think he's ready to play in the Premier League? I think he's certainly mature enough, but whether he's ready or not, that just remains to be seen.
Yeah. I think the thing is, James, is like if we pay 25 million now and or we don't and they go up and he has one reasonable season, then that value goes to 40s, isn't it? 40 million, 30 million, whatever. So I think I had this strategy. You guys are going to laugh because what kept happening I said beginning of the season, I'm going to look at the Championship table of the season, top 3 goal scorers, just buy all of them because in 1 year's time, they're all
Yeah.
going to be famous. You know, people like the guy at Villa, Watkins, and Tony, and all them. Just grab them 1 year before and look at the tables and buy the top 3 in the Championship, top 3 in Division 1. But yeah, I mean, that was just being silly anyway. But the other thing I think, well, Matt, have you seen a lot of him or not? I'm not sure because I haven't.
No. I've not seen a lot of him, to be honest. No, not at all. I saw a little bit of him. I used to follow the Championship 2 years ago, and I saw a little bit more of him. I saw him a couple of times there, and like I said, was not impressed. And like I said, the 2 Blackburn fans I know were not impressed until this year. You know, they said that they needed someone in. You know, so I mean, that's the other thing. Is he a potential flash in the pan? Again, we don't know. You know, like a Kevin Phillips. You know, like we've seen before. You know, a guy that has a great season. But I mean, that's what it. You know, what do? We take a chance. We gamble. We risk it. Because to be honest, all of our previous striking signings have gone wrong. So I can understand the doubt from behind it. And to be honest, I've said this many times. I still think that Moyes has an idea of a striker in the summer. I don't know why. Something just gives me that notion that he has somebody lined up in the summer that he would like to bring in.
I mean, like we said, I want 2. So yeah, bring one in now
Me
and
too.
don't lose the momentum. And the other thing, James, with Ben is obviously Antonio's a different type of player. And my son told me something. I think we're taking out, and especially me, we're taking our frustrations out more on Antonio because there's no one else, and I think that's unfair. And that's why, Matt, like you said, you've joined the show. It's lovely to share opinions because otherwise you just carry on with your own. And then it's really lovely. I come on and chat to a few of my boys, and they're like, "Dad, what you want out? He ain't like he's not mobile. He's not going to run. He can't think the way you want, but he's got something someone else hasn't got." Which I said, "Yeah, you got a fair point." Because I want Antonio to go into those empty spaces, gamble, you know, run off the cuff, and I think, yeah, bloody hell, mate, you're right. I think all the frustration of one striker I'm taking out on the one we got, and perhaps Matt, you kind of understand that as well. Sometimes we've been unfair, aren't we, on Antonio? I think perhaps.
Yeah, listen, I think a lot of us change our opinions too often. You know, everyone has a right to their opinion. I try to always be a bit more, be as objective as possible with my opinions. You know, I'm not saying I'm right because often I do get it wrong as well. You know, but I mean, especially when, you know, I'll give you an example. You know, let's say, we want this player or this player, and then someone watches one game of this player where they don't play well, and they're like, no, this guy was crap. He didn't do anything. He was useless, and you're just like. You know, you've got to look at when you're looking at players, you're looking at the short term, medium term, long term, in terms of performance, in terms of potential, in terms of integration, possible integration with the team. You know, because let's look at Haller, whether we like it or not, he's a great player.
Yes.
But he just wasn't a good fit for us. And
he wasn't worth that money.
Yeah.
What nationality is Haller?
Ivorian. He played against Ben Rama.
How's he done in the Africa?
Brilliant. He assisted a goal today.
I still won't believe it till it's one of the big leagues. I'm being a bit stubborn.
But I mean, what I mean is, you know, there's many players. Over how many years have people been good in Spain and come to England and done? Robinho, for example, when he went to Manchester City, you know, that didn't do it. Andrei Shevchenko, you can't deny that was one of the best strikers in Europe for many years and came to Chelsea, didn't do it. You know, so there's so many factors involved. It's always a gamble. And it's always more of a gamble with a striker because it's such a high-pressured position. Strikers and goalkeepers, you know, they're positions that you have a real direct impact on the games. Not that defenders or midfielders don't. But there's a lot more blame because often it's one goalkeeper and one striker, you know. So, I mean, the blame is often more direct for these positions. So it gets to the point now, mate, where something is better than nothing, you know. So if you tell me that but then, you know, we just don't know and we will never know how much money is really available. Because if you say spend 25 million gambling on Brereton Diaz now, or maybe that goes towards a bigger striker in the summer, you have to weigh it up because maybe if we don't do enough from here to the summer in terms of league position, in terms of results, then what will be the knock-on effect of maybe losing a Rice, maybe a Bowen going to Liverpool, etc. You know, so I do stick with my opinion that it's better to at least get in one striker, whatever the cost, and risk it. Roll the dice. Who dares wins.
I think going to Glenn's and comment, I think Newcastle obviously in a different predicament and different situation. So
Yeah.
they're literally just throwing notes on every not really a good way. It's like the Icelandics just they'll end up with what looks like a lot of 29, 30, 31-year-olds,
That's the case.
high contracts, and then trying to put clauses in there to lower their salaries. I wouldn't want to be in Newcastle's position personally.
No, they're thinking temporarily, not long term.
I mean, 25 million would. No, thank you. Good steady player, but
Trippier,
wrong age of 20, isn't he? Yeah. So, Glenn, I think I understand why Newcastle are doing that way. I think we just need to fine tune our team a bit. The majority is good. We just need to add a little bit more. Ricky, how you doing, mate? You all right? Thanks for joining, son. After Man United, yeah, we've got a bit of a break, haven't we? Yeah, let's see how it goes, mate. But like Matt said, a lot of people are thinking I would make the window 7 days, Matt, because people are just not doing nothing for the first 3 weeks. They're just playing. Yeah, that'll get them moving quickly, wouldn't it?
I think everyone's trying to second guess each other as well. See who's moving around, and you can tell a lot by the players that come in. For example, if I was in a couple of Italian clubs that signed left backs before letting go the left back that they have, or giving the option to let go the left back they have. So I think, you can tell a lot by the movements that are happening before. And like I said, if you look at the transfer market in general, it's very stale, very stagnant, and I think everybody's being cautious right now because clubs have thrown around a lot of money. And especially, if you look at the current financial situation, you look at the collapse of the Super League, you look at a lot of different factors that are being factored in. Clubs are being a little bit more cautious right now.
Yeah, you're right. I think James, obviously, I was very surprised when Chelsea let go of Zuma because they didn't buy the one they wanted, if you remember, the guy who played. Yeah, so thank you for that. Yeah, so James, give me a name. Let's go for a name that you're quite interested in.
Attila Szalai.
Who does he play for?
He plays for Fenerbahce. I'll spell the name. ATT.
No, that should be fine.
Oh, Fenerbahce, yeah.
Yeah, I'll pick him up.
Thing is, I keep tabs on Fenerbahce because everyone's going to say like Turkish Super League, excuse me, I'm going to shitty league, but a lot of good players have come out of that. Like Emre, who played for Newcastle, Tuncay Sanli, who played for Middlesbrough. Look at players I remember Tuncay, actually, he was decent. Tugay Kerimolu, who played for Blackburn. A lot of players came out of that. Attila Szalai, number 41. And then Valencia actually plays for
Turkey. You're right. And I think Bar, he played in Turkey a lot. Old striker.
Feghouli plays in Turkey.
Yeah. And I love the kebabs. That's the most important thing.
I've
brilliant.
never been, yeah.
And what's the name again? So into the
Szalai, number 41. You just hovered over it. There you go.
Oh, brilliant.
It's his birthday today.
Oh,
that's mental.
I've read about him. 24. Is he 24? Is he 25? We'll find out tomorrow when we look at the website again. A lot of people after him. 23 caps. I love when a player's an international. That always James gives it an extra bit of like comfort to say, yeah, you can mix it up. Obviously, because Hungary have had battles with people like England recently. Let's have a look at his goals.
I put him on my scouting report video. I said I'd take Attila Szalai at West Ham because he's known as Hungarian Virgil van Dijk.
I'll tell you what, this particular website gives the height in meters, and I struggle. I'm the old imperial foot and inches person, so
it's about 6'4".
Okay, I'll take that. That looks good. Yeah, a few goals, a few assists in there, a few yellow cards, a red card. Get in there, son.
He'd settle into England quickly because he actually speaks fluent English. He doesn't need to get over the language barrier or anything.
Has he got a fair amount of pace? Do you know? Is it largely strength or?
It's largely strength. I actually made some notes on this bloke, so I might have to just go get my notepad. But what I said is that this bloke is a physically strong centre back. He's known for being an aggressive tackler. He's known for dispossessing players and then immediately passing it. He had a decent Euro 2020. Actually, that's when he actually got some attention. on that stage.
So did Vlasic, didn't he? God bless him. Yeah.
So did Nikola. So did a lot of players actually.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this. I know a lot of people say you don't sign a player off of how they're playing an international competition. That wouldn't be the case with Sharlai because he just hasn't just done it for Hungary. It's not like Yarmolenko is crap for us and then turns into Borsch Bautista when he plays for Ukraine. It's like Sharlai does it for both. He's probably one of the best defenders in the Turkish Super League right now, Sharlai. And he's had quite a career. He's played in Hungary, Austria, ended up in Turkey.
Excuse me one second, mate.
Yeah, no problem, mate. No
looking
problem.
to go west.
Yeah, I think like you said, what would be the value on him roughly? Any figures bounded about in the press and reports?
I think it's around £16 million.
6-0.
16.
16. Yeah, I was about falling from my chair. Yeah, 16. Okay.
60 million's way too much for him. No. Definitely not.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Good kind of age, 24. Yeah, looks good. Okay, I'm going to put a name in there now that I've been looking at, which is again, it's kind of come out today. Let's have a look. Again, it's a one I like. Some people don't. Nat Phillips, I think. Place of birth, Bolton, Lancashire, 24. Similar height to yours, your Hungarian friend. Let's have a look at the stats. Okay, Bolton. Yeah, Bolton all the way through. Fairly steady. Every time I've seen him, including the games against us, he's looked good. It's not been that bad.
Moyes knows his dad.
I think this, alongside the Ben Diaz, this has definitely got legs. 15 million. Yeah.
These are what you call West Ham signings, because this is value for money stuff. This isn't like blowing shit tons.
I think what's good to hear is that it's 15 million. There's no haggling or going up and up, and Klopp has said that's fine. I'll let him go. So
it's all there for the taking. We just got to act on it.
Yeah, and don't forget, when he joins, we'll have 5 centre backs, and there's no harm in bringing him in and see how he settles. If he starts well, he can start, or he can be one of the other people at the back. Really, see how we do. Really, so I think he's all right. What do you think? I think he's okay. He's done well, even in the games we played against.
I think it's fine. Yeah. Well, I think he'd be all right. Not going to be a bad sign.
Let me just check. I think Ginger Collins was trying to join.
I think he just tried to.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I kicked him out by mistake. I can't remember now. Let me see.
Nice.
Let me see. He was stuck in a bit of traffic, so hopefully. So one name for you. Yeah, one name from you, mate. Yeah.
I've done 2, so you can do another one. You've just done the one so far.
Cool.
So,
I'm going to go for... Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we don't have Steve on the show. Steve's gone very quiet that we're online, and then we go offline, and we'll go on all night. Come on, Steve, mate. We need you, mate. Never seen him so
opinion. No one's going to slag you off, Steve.
We've never seen him so quiet. Look, there's not been any word from him since the show started, and one...
Yeah.
Come on, Steve. Finish your chicken roast, mate. Get on.
We're not going to slag you.
This is your platform, isn't it? There's no point going on about it all day and then,
chicken out at the last minute.
Yeah, come on, mate. Come on, join up.
I know he's got something to say.
Yeah. How you doing, mate? Are you all right, son? Don't worry.
Not bad. So sorry, man. Traffic's a nightmare.
That's all right. The famous East London traffic. I was telling you about Steve. Steve's all gone quiet on us since the show started. No message in the group. One line in there. I'm like, come on, mate. All day when we're working, you're like, no, typing away like the Agatha Christie all day. And
I think he's getting like most of us West Ham fans now. We're getting frustrated. Nothing's getting done. It doesn't seem like anything's concrete. Everything's just all two-bob rumours.
No, I want to hear his opinion. It's interesting. So the viewers can. There's
I get where he's coming from. I mean, it is annoying me a bit, and I mean, I
mean, the show will stop in
So,
half an
right.
hour, and all the messages on WhatsApp will start again. I'm like, what's the point? Come on now, we need you now. Come on now, Steve.
Speak up.
Finish your lunch and come on, or dinner. Anyway, Jin, yeah, thanks for coming on, mate. So what we've done so far, we talked about Ben Diaz. We
Yep.
talked about Nat Phillips.
Yeah.
Who else was it? I think
Attila
Have
Charlotte.
you mentioned about the possible double swoop that they're on about for 40 million for the pair of them?
Yeah. I mean, you can mention the amounts. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, because we just finished that. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to make of it, mate. I think that's more realistic.
I think that's what I've been
Okay.
saying. These are David. This is because in the three transfer talk shows, we weren't saying, "Are we going to sign him?" We were just talking generally about players that are in from the third week now.
We just react. Basically, it's just reacting on rumors, and we know they're rumors. We know there's nothing concrete, but
the news has to come out now. It's got to be true. You can't hold the news in for too long, and I think we've got him, mate. So I think these two are definitely David's choice.
Yeah, no, of course. Along with a couple of others, I think might be David Moyes' preferred choices as well.
Yeah.
Like, have you heard about the Courtney House rumours from Aston Villa?
I'm going to bring his details
actually,
up.
He was actually on the books at West Ham as a kid. We released him 10 years ago. He's 26 now, and he was at us. He left us when he was 16, I believe. And he's 6'3", left-footed, naturally left-footed, centre half. So it's what we need. 6'3", big, powerful, strong, challenging, commanding in the air, dominant. And little fun fact: he was born and raised in Goodmays, down the road from me in Ilford.
Yep.
Born in Redbridge.
Don't know it.
Yeah. I saw something on the news on Twitter about an hour ago that they said that they were Villa, because of the West Ham interest, are looking to offer him a new 4-year deal. So
yeah,
maybe try sniffing around.
I don't see him getting game time.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's just wasted because he's out of favour. Yeah, he's had a couple of appearances here and there. But he's out of favour. He's like their third or fourth choice centre half.
Exactly. He's not starting ahead of Konza. He's not starting ahead of Mims.
Exactly. Now let's hope that Villa go out and buy a centre half, and then we can say, "Well, look, Villa, here's, I don't know, 20 mil."
I mean, there's a reason why his name's come up. Either he's told someone he wants out. I mean, you can't get linked in like willy-nilly. I mean,
You know what? I think it's easy to connect him with us because we're after a left-sided centre half, a natural left footer, and he's got history with the club, being with us in the academy. So I think it's just lazy journalism, if anything, that you can just connect him with us. You know what I mean?
Putting 2 and 2 together.
That's it, yeah. And everyone knows that we're after a striker. And Jermaine Defoe goes on, talks about, he apologises to the fans, and then people put 2 and 2 together and start making up rumours that we're going to go for Defoe. Or, do you know what I mean? It's like the Andy Carroll saga when he was training with us for a couple of days, and apparently he's gone back to Reading to train.
Yeah. I mean, James, the issue we're getting now is next season Newcastle, Villa, Spurs, Arsenal, Man United. They won't sell players to us, will they? They're saying you're the same as us now, isn't it?
But I'll tell you what, we're the sort of team that will sell players to them.
Yeah, James, carry on. Sorry.
You know what? Actually, that's not a bad thing. You know, to be linked to be put on the same level as those bigger clubs for us, given how far we've come, that isn't really a bad thing. That's something we actually should take a lot of pride in. But we have to be able to compete with these bigger clubs, and that's when you're getting the reinforcements. Now, I've gotten to the point where I've been able to trust David Moyes' judgment in transfer windows because he hasn't made stupid last-gasp signings, really. You could say that because he has, but he hasn't. He has done it late on, but they haven't been worthless signs. Look at Zuma, look at Souček, look at Bowen, look at Lingard. Players that have improved the team and that have a lot of character and merit that they can bring to the dressing room. So I do trust Moyes to go out and actually buy whoever. But I think we need to plan for the long-term future still. You need to think about the midfield. You're looking at Noble retiring, Kropp potentially going back. That leaves Rice and Souček in that midfield. So you've got to add a little bit of depth into that. And I'm one of those people who always talks on my channel about long-term thinking. We don't do that still. And I think
No.
we need to start thinking about what's going to happen for the future, because we've got an aging defence, we've got aging goalkeepers, we've got
An aging striker.
Yeah. Well, I was about to go on to say we've got only one bleeding striker.
Mm.
So you got to think about depth. You got to think about what you can do long term. Like, I mean, Leicester's a good example of that. They've got competent backups in every position. Villa's
That's it.
kind of got that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference. I mean, if we want to be a big club, we can still sign these players that Moyes wants for good value for money, but we have to think long term still, and we have to think about bigger talents like Kamara, players like that who could, make a real name for themselves in the league. So we are going places, but we still have a long way to go.
You know, I think it's only us and Man City in the Premier League that Man City and us, we only have one.
Getting a lot of feedback, Matt, from you.
Oh shit!
Matt.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
Your every slurp of your coffee is surround sound, mate.
That's what that is.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, I didn't realise. I apologise.
Didn't realise
It's
that.
paperwork, isn't it? It's marking tests.
But Ginge, what's the price on this lad then? Heard anything about? Yeah.
Who's this? Kamara.
Courtney. Yeah.
Oh, Courtney. I haven't seen an actual price. Not even an estimation.
I was seeing 17. That's what I was seeing when I was reading about it this morning.
He's 26. Do you know what I mean? So he's not going to be cheap. But then he's not going to be dear either.
Marseille's got financial problems. Don't forget. Oh, Aaron.
What's that, sorry?
Don't forget, Marseille's got some financial trouble. So they're looking to offload some players.
Yeah, Hickey's the one that I looked at for. I'm looking out for. Hickey's on my list for the summer, along with Juan Miranda. Also, I like the look of Juan Miranda. I do like myself a Spanish fullback. And
listen, if he's Hickey, then that's Steven Gerrard's. He's going to grab him, mate. Forget that.
See, I've got Hickey down here, and he's been tipped the new Gareth Bale left back, and obviously going forward in the summer, ship Masuaku off, get Aaron Hickey in. It can be Cresswell's understudy. He's only 19. He signed from Hearts to Bologna in the Italian league in September 2020. For 1.5 million. He scored 4 goals in 32 games, but all of his goals have come in 20 appearances this season. And he's going to cost roughly 8 million. And he's got stats of 1.1 tackles, 1 interception, 28.2 passes, and 86 completion per game.
Yeah, that's good.
He's very mature for his age as well. Even old Hearts manager Robbie Nilsson said that, and I quote, it was something like he's 18 years old, but he acts like a 24 or 25-year-old.
Oh, brilliant.
There you go.
That's good.
Another Rice. He's got a wise head on young shoulders.
Will be nice, that's for sure. Especially, as that position at left back is so crucial to our game. If you look at the heat maps in our games, if you look at, Cresswell, like I talked about in the previous game, he was actually ahead of Vlasic on the average position on the field, So, I mean, if we can get a young, I just hope that he doesn't turn out like a Tierney for Arsenal, because, not that I think Tierney is terrible, but I just don't think he's lived up to expectations, because, I for one had a lot of hope there. And but if we can get one of those young, exciting Scottish fullbacks in, that can get up and down, whip a good ball in, like you said, a bit of a smart, mature head on him, it would be an absolute steal.
Well, one of the reasons as well Scotland develops good fullbacks is because the national team tends to play a 3 at the back system, which helps them all out, and that's it makes them more spatially aware. It doesn't necessarily put more pressure on to defend, but it makes them able to go forward a lot more, and that's exactly why I think Hickey just has that mentality, because he's used to having that maybe in the Scotland national team and the Scottish footballing setup, so he can apply that in his club level.
That's it. Pressure from the front, push higher up the field and just press. Yeah, it's funny you should say that though, Matt. Because like mentioning Tierney with that, because I've read that obviously being Scottish and being in the Scotland setup, he's got quite a few similar, if not the same, attributes as Kieran Tierney and Andy Robertson. Whether that's
Nice.
because he's sort of grown up around the camp with them, not sure. But they're saying that he's got similar attributes to Tierney and Andy Robertson from Liverpool.
That'd be great. I mean, I would even take Tierney with us, to be honest. I mean, because I really do like the look of the young Scottish fullbacks. There's a lot of good guys coming out of there. So I mean, if he's up to it, and only thing is that how much would he cost? Because obviously Bologna brought him in, obviously picked a diamond in the rough there, and they're going to want to capitalise, no?
Well, even if we bid 10 million for him, they're still making an 8.5 million profit.
Yeah.
And he's only 19. So obviously, the younger they are, and being a Premier League club that's interested in him, they're going to try and ramp up the price as much as possible. And we know what the situation's like in Italy at the minute. They've not really got a lot of funds. Even the big teams can't compete with Premier League teams in going out for a bidding war with something. So they might try and think, you know what, it's a Premier League team, let's try and snap up as much as we can. They might ask for 30 and we might say jog on.
Curtis, what's this comment about? I've forgotten what it's about.
Oh, so in the group, so I'll put up a voice clip, and there's a guy called Danny, and he's from South East London, and if I hadn't looked up at the screen, I thought it was Steve. So I basically recorded the clip and then sent it on to the group to Steve and was like, yeah, there's sounds like you, Steve. And he said, oh, I was on the chase once, I won £3,000.
Steve's loving it. Steve's loving it, mate.
I won a grand once.
Did you?
Well, no, like £600, but like $1,000 Canadian. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Not
What was
bad,
that on?
This competition at a bowling alley where basically if you got a strike, you got $1,000 on the next shot, and I got the strike.
Actually,
Lovely.
Easiest £600 I've ever made. Well, I'll put it in your money, yeah, but it's still a grand to me, and I just went and saved it up for a few months and then spent it on uni.
Yeah, James, I've got some relatives in Edmonton, and they've got a big concrete company, and I think he's got a box at the Oilers, I think.
Oh, there is season ticket at the Oilers and all.
Yeah,
like, put it in your money, £12,000.
Yeah, he's got his own concrete pumping business with his brother, been set up quite
What's
a
it
while.
called?
What?
The concrete business.
I can't think top of my head. He's gave me the card. I'll let you know after the show. Yeah, he's like my dad's brother's son. Oh, I'll tell you, it's like my aunt's family. Basically, my aunt's family. They came from India into that area in 1988. Yeah, it's tough for them. They're tough cookies, mate. It
reminds me of when you're in school and you say to your mates, you make up a story and you say, yeah, my best mate's uncle's brother's niece's dad.
No, it's my fault the way
I have to in my family because everyone's half siblings or not related. So I have to. My family tree is difficult to explain.
No, it's basically my aunt's brothers. Yeah, married to uncle.
Yeah,
so
Oilers tickets are horrendously expensive. Like,
they're one of the good teams, though, aren't they?
Oilers, no, in the 1980s when they had Gretzky, they were.
Wayne Gretzky, the Czech boy, yeah, Polish or Czech.
He's Canadian, yeah. I've seen him. I used to work at the arena. I used to see him a few times. Come with his dad because his dad was hockey's most famous dad, and he died last year. And the Oilers had a bit of special ceremony for him. Gretzky's number was retired all across the league because of the respect that there was for him, and. Show how amazing he was. There were 61 NHL records. He broke them all. And most of those are never likely to be surpassed. But Oilers, it's fun to watch. I mean...
James, some of those cards they collect are worth a lot of money. I remember my cousins in Toronto telling me, if you get the right one, they go for a lot of money. Especially Gretzky, probably, yeah.
Wayne Gretzky's first ever game-worn jersey is going to go for at least $500,000. Or something like that. His first ever game-worn jersey from when he was 18. Since no one wanted to buy it, they just framed it, put it in glass at the arena.
Who's the best team in Canada? Because I follow the Toronto Maple Leafs. I get my shirts from my cousins in Toronto.
The best team in Canada would probably right now, the team that has the biggest chance of winning it would be the Toronto Maple Leafs. Even though the last time they won a cup, Bobby Moore had just lifted the World Cup. That's the last time they won a Stanley
What
Cup.
happened to Matt? Matt's been sniffling and sneezing and coughing and slurping. Matt, you're
Well,
nutcase.
I'm going to be really naive here. What sport is the Oilers? Is it ice hockey?
Ice hockey.
Yeah, you got it in one, mate. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
They called that
Just
because
when you
of the
said his
oil
name,
industry. And
Gretzky, that was
Gretzky,
probably the
yeah.
only name that I can probably think of in ice hockey. And as soon as you said Gretzky, I was like, oh,
the second at the time, if Gretzky was like the Messi, the Ronaldo at the time was the guy called Mario Lemieux, and he's since become the owner of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
It's a Stanley Cup, isn't it? It's like Champions
Yeah.
League, isn't it? Yeah,
It's
yeah.
different. It's different to ours because unlike here, when you play two legs in the Premier League, in the Cup game, in the Stanley Cup and in North American playoffs, it's the best of seven. The best of seven is the one who advances.
Oh, you
Best
got to
of
be.
seven.
Oh, listen, I got interrupted. I just seen the Arsenal lineup. You fucking wankers. That is the strongest.
Yeah, they got
lineup.
Tommy Astu and all that. That party's on the bench. And
I am.
let me just
flipping-
go in that. I completely didn't give a shit that they were playing tonight. I've got to be honest
Lacazette,
with you.
Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, Ben White. No,
They've gone all
0-0 in
out.
that game.
Steve, I wish
Well.
you didn't tell me, mate. Ginger, say something before I lose it, please. Yeah. So
Well,
Mohamed
that's
Bayi,
fine.
yeah. You want to talk about
that's
him?
throwing
Take
me
it
right
away.
off. That's typical, though, isn't it?
I am.
Right, let's crack on with this Mohamed Bayo as you've got him up on your transfer market, Jazz. Plays for Clermont, 23-year-old, Guinea international. Roughly 9 million is the rough estimate. That sort of region.
Not bad.
He's got 9 goals and 2 assists in 17 League One games, and 22 goals, 8 assists in 38 league games in League One, League One last season. So he's got a good little scoring record there. He can provide for others as well. Unlikely to sell because Clermont are in a relegation battle at the minute. They're 1 point above. Can't think of who they are now, but they're 1 point above whoever's in 18th.
We'll look it up.
But they're estimating in the region of 15 to 20 million. It says 9 mil here. I've got 20 mil.
They are just above
15 to 20
Lorient.
mil. Not 9 million, it's 15 to 20 mil. But yeah, they're unlikely to sell now because obviously they're in a relegation battle and they want to obviously keep hold of him and stay up.
Yeah, before you carry on, I've got a great positive statement from Steve, one you've never seen before and will surprise you guys. So 1, 2, 3.
Wow,
Well done, Steve. Well,
that is so
Steve,
poetic.
Steve, don't you think we're going to get Lingard then, no?
I'll tell you what,
I
I'll tell you what, that Monty Python song, Always Look on the Good Side, I always think of Steve. Oh, yeah. Steve, that ain't you, son.
Lingard, Steve's favourite player. Come on, Moisey. Steve says get Lingard before it's too late. Because after
Always
January, he doesn't want him no more.
Steve, sing me that for Monty Python song, Always Look on the Right. Go on, son. It's all about you. James,
No,
any names from yourself before you carry on?
Yeah, I'm just looking up my notes because I've no life, and I actually wrote down every single player West Ham was linked with in January 2021. So far, we've got 81
What?
players.
How many pens did you go through? That's a lot of ink there, mate.
It's on my phone. So, go Fabio Carvalho.
Steve's on the Heineken. He's getting nuts, mate. I ain't putting those comments up. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, mate. Yeah, go ahead, James.
Fabio Carvalho, who plays
No,
for Fulham.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Fulham's
That one.
romping teams left, right, and centre right now.
That one.
Really?
Listen, Mitrovic, my favourite, as you know. I love him.
Probably best ever. I'm going to go as far as saying Mitrovic could easily be the Championship's best ever striker. The way he's going.
Someone tell me, Matt, anyone, why hasn't he not asked for a move? He's so quiet. He's obviously his country's top man and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to say about Bayo. I don't know a lot about him, but I've been watching the African Cup of Nations and I've seen him playing in Guinea. I mean, it's difficult because the standard is of a certain level, you know, and the team obviously around him. But he looked lively. I mean, didn't score any goals that I saw. I saw him start in the first 2 games, and I think the third one he only came on as a sub. But he looked lively. But about Mitrovic, mate, I mean, I get this feeling right now that Mitrovic has tried it in the Premier League, not done as well or not as consistent, and I think he's enjoying being the big fish in a small pond in the Championship, like James has said, that he's found a place where he can get goals regularly, become popular, famous, cult hero even, because he's a real shit house of a player. He can be absolutely brilliant one game or absolutely useless or get himself sent off or something ridiculous. But I mean him and what's the other guy? Cabano, isn't it, as well? The other guy.
Neeson's Cabano, yeah.
Yeah, I like that guy as well. I think he's good. But like you're saying here, James, I mean, we've been linked with an endless amount of Carvalhos, that we could have bought, or what was it, William Carvalho?
No, don't go there.
Yeah, that defensive midfielder that we all wanted back in the day that we could never get. So I mean,
Not right.
The one that David Sullivan.
Matt, is it Real Betis? Is he Real Betis? Is that, isn't he? Or
What's that? Sorry,
William
Why
Carvalho.
Lisbon?
Lisbon.
No. He went to Betis, didn't he? After that,
Did he?
I did. I've not seen, mate. I honestly,
he might have done. Yeah, I think. Or at least Betis was very close in getting him.
No, he's still there, mate. But he didn't quite pull up any routes. Yeah, he's still there. There you go. There we go. Yeah,
Just going on to the Mitrovic thing, I think that ship sailed.
Yeah,
4 or 5 years
I know.
4 or 5 years ago, we should have got him. He's a bastard of a player. He's strong. He bullies defenders. He can play back to goal. He can turn defenders. He's a target man. He can hold the ball up. He can lay people off and run in the box. And he's good in and outside of the box. He's a good player, but that ship sailed. He's 4 or 5 years too late for West Ham, in my opinion.
I agree the same, mate. I think that at the moment that we lost Arnautovic, he would have been the perfect guy to come in, like for Arnautovic, in terms of, like you say, not only his qualities on the ball, but his qualities off the ball, his aggression, the pressure that he can put on. But I mean, yeah, I think it's just, I think he's enjoying his cult status that he's got at Fulham right now, and I think we should be looking for bigger and better, and it's very easy to knock him in the Championship like we see with Brereton Diaz. But I mean, I just, you just want that signing to make us a little bit excited. And I don't think we'd get excited with Mitrovic, like you say. Maybe 3 or 4 years ago, yes, but right now, no.
It's not what we need right now. We need. It goes against Moyes' philosophy in signing players. He wants young, hungry players that want to prove themselves.
Not only that, Mitrovic might have a bit of an attitude on him. Don't forget. I get those attitude vibes off of him. I get a bit of a bad energy off him.
Yeah.
I think
but saying that, you could say the same about Arnautovic, but. Yeah. He was an all-round. When you see private clips of when he was with the boys at West Ham, he was having a laugh and a joke. But when he's on the pitch, he's that arrogant. He's like that bastard type player, which is good. We need someone like that because Antonio isn't enough. He does silly stuff at the wrong time. I mean, Jazz, we were saying it at the Norwich game, and some of the stuff he just frustrates me, man. We need someone.
Yeah. We need another one.
That's throw their weight about, but use it in the right way and make them natural striker runs, centre forward runs.
Antonio will be a great sub or one of the three behind the main man. There'll be no issues. Then we won't be hammering him anymore. Yeah.
So when we do a silly sub like bring Masuaku on, we could save that sub for Antonio.
But someone remind me, Carvalho, why is it hotting up? Is his contract ending? Is that why it's all going nuts out there? Is it, or what's the reason?
Well, Carvalho.
Yeah. Why would Fulham sell him? Is it the contract issue or? I can't.
I don't know.
It doesn't tell me. You used to tell me.
I know both us and Liverpool are linked with him. He's a winger / striker. He's 19 years old, and he's got 5 goals and 1 assist. He's out of contract in the summer. So
that's it.
Oh, there you go. Then that's why. Oh, right.
Yeah. So obviously, us and Liverpool are both linked with him, and apparently we're both linked with a £5 million bid. Now, obviously, we haven't bidded for him, but that's the rumor that we could bid. If we do bid for him, it'll be around about 5 million.
I mean, my friend Stephen saying that spoken to a fan and no chance. But I'm just trying to clarify with him. Does that mean he doesn't like us, or does that mean he's going to think about it in the summer? So might get that point clarified.
And the thing with Fulham, so there's ball breakdowns between Fulham and Liverpool because of the Elliot Harvey Elliott.
Yeah.
Harvey Elliott.
Yeah.
Harvey. You can say his name both ways and it still works.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, carry on, mate. That sounds good. Yeah.
Harvey.
Well, in 2019, obviously Liverpool took Harvey Elliott off of them. And there's a bit of dispute going around between the two boards, between the two clubs. So that gives us an edge. So if we were both to go in for him, I think Fulham will more likely want to do that sort of business with us because of their past with Liverpool. But he's only 19. So again, like Matt said, he's one for the future. But we need bodies in now. We need quality in now that's going to come straight into the team, improve the team. And then in the summer, we can worry about players like that. Building
Exactly.
and
so I was going to say, mate, maybe I agree with you 100%, mate. I agree. You know, right now it's priority time of striker and defender minimums, you know, but I mean, that's what we need. But maybe we do need to stick out the bids for these guys that are going to be up for their contract, because I mean, this guy, I mean, I watched him in his last game against Birmingham. I watched the Fulham game the other day, when they were 4-1 up at half time, and it was a brilliant game.
A crazy game.
It was a crazy game, and he got 2 nice goals, and he was busy. He was a busy body, you know. I mean, he was a busy body around, and I have to admit, I didn't know anything about him before this season, and he's really come to light. And like you say, maybe we can take advantage of some sort of disruption between Liverpool and Fulham, and the idea of wanting to keep him in London, you know, because obviously coming from a foreign country, London is very pleasant to live in.
It's that dream city.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, well, Cabral, well, that would be nice, but I mean,
I had a look, and all right. The league's a bit, Swiss league is what it is. 65 goals, 106. I just like his confidence, and whenever he gets a chance, he just shoots from many yards out, and he finds the net, which is a skill in itself. Even though, not sure about the goalkeeper. So, James, what do you think about him? Because I don't think we have mentioned him on one of the shows before, but I don't think you were there. Yeah, what do you think?
This guy's been under the radar because he plays in Switzerland, but don't discredit what he's done stat-wise. I mean, moving over from Brazil to Europe's a massive jump, and I don't think going into a major league straight away is necessarily a good thing, because that's a major jump. It's like going from, say, Conference to the Premier League. Well, not Jamie Vardy. Well, he did that eventually, but he didn't do it right away.
He went up every level, though, didn't he, Jamie Vardy?
Yeah. I mean, you know, what I'm trying to say
is a risk, mate. Yeah, look, he didn't score that many.
It is a risk.
Yeah.
But Cabral, the fact he's on the link to the same Barcelona and Bayern Munich as well, he's in demand. And I actually think that Cabral's a very good player. He's got the versatility again. He's got the eye for goal again, and the dribbling ability. I think, does he really suit our system? I'm not 100% sure. I don't know enough about him to actually judge that. This player.
A couple of bits of information I've got. He's a striker. He's 23 years old. Sorry. He scored 27 goals, got 8 assists in 31 games in all competitions. But this is the key bit. He's a striker. He's a natural striker, centre forward. He's got natural striker movement, and he's got positional awareness. So that's something that Antonio doesn't have, only because Antonio is not an out-and-out centre forward. He's not an actual striker. That's not his trade. So obviously you'd expect, as a striker or a natural centre forward, you'd expect him to have a natural movement, make them natural runs in between the two centre halves, or between the centre half and the left back, or centre half and the right back.
Cabral's going to be a risk.
And the positional awareness, he knows he's going to stay along the back line. He's going to follow the shoulder of the last man, and he's just going to slip in because he's got that natural movement and the positional awareness. He's got peripheral.
I think what James is trying to say, I agree. If he's the only one that comes in, I'll be worried. If he's one or two, then James, we can wait and bed him in slowly. And worst case scenario is you flog him off to a championship club and get your money back, like with the other guy, wasn't he? The other Austrian Swiss guy we had went to Celtic, didn't he?
Oh, Yeti.
Sounds
like an abominable snowman.
We done well, mate. At Celtic, like, you bloody sod, you stitched us up. There we go.
Celtic's doing a Japanese invasion right now.
Yeah. I was going to say here in Latin America, there's a lot of talk around Cabral. He's been very popular because he broke out. Became very famous because he broke out and got his first goal at, I think, 17 years old. In the Brazilian league. So he's been around and yeah, and they call.
I'll be back in 1 minute. So you guys carry on, and then the next subject is on your screens. I'll be back in literally 1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah, sure.
And here there's a lot of talk about him. In Latin America, they talk a lot about Cabral. As they call him.
Same continent.
Latin America's
so
a hotbed for football. Obviously, things get spread around there quick.
Yeah, and they call him the assassin over here in some parts because I mean I saw a while ago they had a thing on here on ESPN, Latin American ESPN, highlighting him, and it was quite a good thing that they were talking about him, and they were mentioning his style of play and showing a lot of things. And one of the things that they did put up in that documentary, they were looking at up and coming Latin American players, and he was included in it, was his heat map, and his heat map was insane. I don't know if it's possible to find it, his heat map, but it was basically all in the box, around the box. I mean, it basically the complete opposite of Antonio. Wherever you see like yellow or non-existent green or yellow for Antonio, is where you would find red for Cabral. And I'll see if I can find it somewhere. But it was absolutely incredible to see, and like you guys are saying, he's a striker. He's a striker. My only worry with what I've seen of him and what I've heard about
Liverpool 1-0. Sorry.
would be his would be his defensive aspects, because that maybe the pressing side of it, because a lot of Latin American players, Brazilian players are not very guided towards the pressing aspect of games, just because of the style of play where they come from. So I mean, I think Moyes would definitely need to push him up, like we saw with Felipe Anderson. When Felipe Anderson came in, they're all very good going forward and getting involved in the attack, but the defensive responsibilities, and now from the Premier League, how important it is being a lone striker. I mean, that's what I used to love about Arnautovic. I used to love his pressing. I mean, his pressing was insane, unreal. And I just would love to get someone in.
Saka's brilliant. Love him, mate. Miss him. Yeah, miss him.
Thing is with Arnautovic, he's not the biggest player to play up top on his own, but he used to run left and right throughout that back four, slip in between, curve his runs, he'd stray behind them, then come in front of him, come short for the ball, lay it off, turn, or take the ball with him, win free kicks. He was just, man, he was immense, but it's just a shame the way he left. He could have done it better.
Oh yes.
Ginger Kurzawa. Have we spoken about him?
Kurzawa from PSG.
Sounds like
the only problem is he's 29 years old, but he is one of them well-known names because obviously he's at a well-known big club, plays in Champions League and whatnot. He's a left back, so it'll be one for the summer. But if you can get these sort of players in now, get them in, because we can do with as many decent players as possible. So if Cresswell goes back out, God forbid he don't, but if he gets another injury or he gets COVID or whatever, we're back to square one again. We're back to either playing Ben Johnson out of position, playing him there, or playing Masuaku there. None of us want that. But these are the sort of players that we need to bolster our squad anyway. Yeah. So we shouldn't wait for the summer to buy players either out of contract or players that are Moyes' targets that he wants to wait for the summer. I don't see the point, because we need players now. And if we get him in, we can ship off Masuaku right now as well.
Ginger, I heard that. Great shout with Kurzawa, or however you pronounce it. I saw today on the news that Tuchel it was being mentioned that Tuchel was interested in him because of the injury to Chilwell, but I don't know if it's true.
He won't go there, because when Tuchel was at PSG, they had a massive falling out. So unless they've had some big kiss and make up situation, I can't see him going to Chelsea. But stranger things have happened. You know, he's one to watch out for in the transfer window. Again, it could just be a rumor. It could just be paper talk. People trying to sell a story. But that is an exciting sort of signing that I'd be interested in. But we need to if the players that Moyes wants for the summer. This is so risky, and this frustrates me a lot because there is a lot of decent players either running out their contract in the summer or available very cheap in the summer, and it's frustrating because we could be waiting, dithering, and then someone else comes along like Newcastle or anyone, Villa, Everton, anyone just come along and go, do you know what, we're taking him right now. And they don't care about waiting 5 more months to get him for nothing. Because with a free agent, you're not paying the club any money. You're not paying a transfer fee, but you're paying a signing on fee to the player. So what's the difference? You're still paying out money. It's not like you're getting him for absolutely free and then paying his wages. You're paying a signing on fee, you're paying the agent, then paying his wages. So
massive money. Yeah.
Yeah. And players obviously like running down their contract because the money that the deal's worth, it goes, well, majority of it goes to him. So that's why players like doing that. So if a club starts mucking about and pissing them off and whatnot, they'll say, do you know what, I'm happy to sit on the bench like this and just collect my paycheck until the summer. And then they get even more money for nothing. Do you know what I mean? So
let me think of someone who does that right now.
What's that? Sorry?
I'm trying to think of someone who does that right now whose name begins with L.
Martial? No, I mean not L, but it's another one that doesn't do anything.
It's Mancunian.
That's it, yeah.
Oh yeah, Jesse Lingard. He does that. He sucks money off the bench, doesn't he? He doesn't even get
Lingard, right? He wants to play because obviously he wanted the Euro, he wants the World Cup. He wants to play, but he's not been given his chance. And I understand why Lingard he got sold a dream like we did with GSB years ago. He got sold a dream. Ollie said to him, listen, I want you, you're in my plans, I want to play you, blah blah blah. Listen, if I'm at West Ham and I'm a boyhood West Ham fan playing for my club, and there's a slight inkling or a bit of hope that I could play again for West Ham, I'd just be like, do you know what? I'll wait an extra couple of months, like 4 or 5 months, whatever it is, see if I get my chance. But then, soon as I'm not being played and he sold me a load of lies and false promises, soon as that January transfer, bang, I'm saying, no, I want out because I'm not letting you do that to me again. And that's what Lingard should do, put his foot down. If he really wants to come to West Ham, like a lot of people are documenting that he does, and I've heard that he does, he'll prefer a move to us. If he really wants it, he would put his foot down. So who knows? I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with Man United. I don't know what Ralph Rangnick said to him, but he's once bitten, twice shy. Do you know what I mean? So he's had it done to him once. Fuck it off, Lingard. Just come home. Come to West Ham. You know you're going to be loved.
Coming home.
The only thing with the Lingard saga is people are getting pissed off with it because it's just dragging on and on and on and on every transfer window and nothing's happening. So shut everyone up. Come to us. Be happy. Express your football. Play good football. Get yourself back in that England team.
I think you're right. I think James Anvil, your shirt looks like a Romania shirt from far away.
No,
it's my local team actually. Is a team that I
Monterey.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's a team. It's my local team. Yeah.
Gignac plays then, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah, he's still there. Yeah.
And Janssen and Anna Valencia did.
They just announced yesterday that they're building a new stadium. So the day before yesterday.
Whereabouts?
My stepbrother goes to Mexico because he lives in LA. He's been to a few games in Mexico. He's been to ones in Guadalajara, Tijuana, Monterrey.
Yeah, so it's massive here, massive support.
Chivas, Guadalajara, I know.
Chivas, yes, I've been to there. Yeah, in Monterrey, there's 2 big teams: Rayados, like the Stripes, and Tigres. So they're a good team. A lot of money. They got a lot of money, that's for sure. And they pay a lot of money, to bring in Gignac. And they brought him in when he was still only 28 years old, I think he was, when he first joined there. So they must have paid him big money. He would have been a good player to bring at West Ham. He plays well as a striker by himself. And especially in that 1 year that he had under Marcelo Bielsa, he improved a lot. And before he left, but I mean, one of those players like Ginger saying, maybe the money just tempts them more than the sporting potential, because at the end of the day, look at Lingard, look at Martial, look at Bale. I mean, God, Bale is such a waste, has been such a waste. He's literally thrown away his career.
I mean, that reminds me of Chelsea from back in the day. Just buy players and then just leave them on the bench and just ruin them, leaving them to rot. And they're only buying them to stop their rivals from getting them, which is a good tactic. But you're leaving a talent on the bench to rot. Whereas Bale, I mean, if it's attitude, ship him off. I would have shipped him off years ago. So, is it an ego thing? Is it the president of Madrid, like Real Madrid's owner? Is he calling the shots and saying, I don't want him? But then if I'm him, and he's got a problem with him, I'd ship him off. But then he's on that big of a wage. It's like Ozil when he was at Arsenal. They couldn't get rid of him for ages because he was on such higher demanding wages. No one wanted to pay that.
Yeah, it's tough, mate. It's tough. I mean, I think wages are going to start dropping again. I think definitely wages are going to start coming down. I think maybe they hit near the top of the possibilities, and I'm definitely think that wages are going to start coming down because it's some of the wages that were being offered around are completely unsustainable, and were more based on their marketing potential rather than their sporting potential. No, and so it's moved the lineup, it's moved the everything up for everyone. Moved the bar. It's moved the bar up for everyone, and it's unsustainable because there's a lot of players. You can see now an average Premier League player, squad player, who's not starting on 50 grand. I mean, it's insane. You see, and I just think that transfers. I mean, there's been a lot of money spent this year. Grealish, Lukaku, Sancho, Ben White, Buendia, for example, here in the Premier League. And
but
it's
do you know
been
what?
bad.
Ben White is a good signing for 50 million. I mean, I know a lot of Arsenal fans, like friends of mine as well, they were saying, Ben White, what the fuck, blah, blah, blah. But I said to him, just wait. And he's now they're all like, oh, yeah, Ben White.
I think he's got potential, but for example, Grealish they overpaid. Lukaku they overpaid. Sancho they overpaid.
No, Ben White's at Arsenal, isn't he?
Yeah, he come from Brighton,
Yeah, but Buendia they overpaid. So even maybe Tammy Abraham, going to Roma, overpaid.
So the goalkeeper Ramsdale, he's completely shocked me, mate. Completely, I wouldn't touch him. But wow.
I'm obviously there was that statistic that had been down with every club in the past 3 years or whatever it was. But again, Arsenal, my Arsenal mates was like, whatever with Ramsdale, why are we getting this shit goalkeeper in? Blah blah blah. We've already got Leno, and it's like listen, Ramsdale is quality. He's just had a shit 10 in front of him. He's had a shit 10 players in front of him. And
Leno was crap before he got dropped. Before he dropped, wasn't he? Leno was terrible.
Yeah, and he's come in and he's been a revelation, and everyone loves him.
Have you heard? There's rumours of Leno to Newcastle. Did you see that?
I'm not surprised. Anyone walking two legs, you God. I'm telling you, when we get one of our deals close, they're going to come in, mate. They're going to come in.
Hey, listen, they could bid £15 million for a three-legged rocking horse.
Yeah,
they're that desperate.
No, but seriously, they're going to cause havoc. They've got no idea what they're doing. No footballing people in their backroom team.
They are scared that they're going to go down, so they're panicking. Do you know what? It's good to be in for everyone, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, because you're not going to get everyone that you go in for. So they need they need a whole 11. Really, they need a brand new starting 11. So they need to go out and be strategic with their signings. But
what about Lamptey? My mate Bob saying Lamptey. I like Lamptey. Lamptey's good.
He's good player.
Yeah.
Eric Lamptey, yeah. Just quickly, if Newcastle go out and buy 10 brand new players, who's to say they're not going to gel? And then they're going to be shit still for the rest of the season. They're still going to go down, but they're panicking. Their fans are panicking. Their fans are loving it at the minute because obviously they've got all this money. They know they can go out and buy players, but the club are panicking.
Don't know about that.
I agree, Jazz. I agree with you, mate. Bobby, I'd take Lamptey at the drop of a hat. Absolute drop of the hat. I'd love, You know,
Been
good.
injured, been injured a lot, but this point Bob's bringing up now is very interesting. I was saying earlier, the likes
No.
of Villa, they don't want to do business with anymore. Chelsea, none of
Yeah.
them. Like, nah, mate, where you know.
If Man United was in fourth and we were eighth and we were pushing for Europa League and they were pushing for Champions League, I think they may sell him to us. But like that comment from Bobby there, because we are battling for that final Champions League spot, and I mean it's not guaranteed. We still have to go through a preliminary what they got, a qualification round, like we did a few years ago with Astagugu. Do you know what I mean? So it's not guaranteed. So we still have a couple more steps to get into the Champions League. But because we're both battling it out for the fourth spot, it'd be stupid because they see how well we've done for us last year. And a little fun fact, this is a lot. I take the piss, but it is true. Before we got Lingard in January, we were in top 4. At the end of the season with Lingard, with all his goals and his assists and everything that he brought to the team and the squad and the changing room and whatnot, we finished 6th. So hadn't we got Lingard,
I think we finished. I think we finished 5th. I thought 2 points behind Chelsea. I thought. We would have.
No, Liverpool, wasn't it?
No, Liverpool got in the top 4. They got into 3rd with that goalkeeper. 40 was it 93rd minute? Typical, mate. 93rd minute header from their goalkeeper got him into the top 4. I think it was the Rice injury that hurt us. I think at the end that and the Everton result that stands out for us. And this again is going down a very similar route, Ginge. This season again, we're going to miss out by 3 points at the end, mate.
Well,
Arsenal,
to be fair, I think we're going to miss out if we don't make decent signings and tactical signings and players that we actually need with quality. I think we could find ourselves slipping further down the table, Jazz.
7th or 8th, I think, mate. I'm looking at because
everyone
our
else
is really poor, mate.
Where we're staying still with buying no one, and everyone else around us is buying and doing business. We're going backwards.
Yeah,
we're literally moving backwards because everyone's moving so far ahead of us with their signings and whatnot, making progress going forward. We're not doing anything, so we're stationary. But in that terms, because they're going so far in front of us with the business they're doing, that makes us going backwards.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the Ivory Coast, Algeria. So yeah, looks like Ben's on the way back. Got substituted. He got subbed after 46 minutes, didn't he? Yeah.
Who did?
Benrahma. He got subbed.
Yeah,
after
he was making runs, mate. They were bringing the ball back. They were going up the field. It didn't look like a team that was fighting to get through. You know, they just went up just past the halfway line, seemed like they got vertigo, and then just started moving the ball backwards again. You could see Benrahma getting pissed off because he was making runs, making movements, and it was just nothing. They weren't even giving him the chance to create anything. So I do feel bad for Benrahma.
Looks like
and they're one of the favourites, weren't they? Pre-tournament.
Yeah.
It looks like the defenses are very good.
They're holders, isn't they? They're holders from last year. So just quickly, has anyone been watching Cameroon?
No, that Abubakar is terrible.
Abubakar, Jazz. I said this last time. Abubakar, and you thought it was the other one. What's the other? Where is it? Let me find him in the book. You thought when I said Abubakar, you thought I meant Boubacar Kamara. And then when I spoke to you on the phone earlier, I said, "Oh yeah, there's this geezer Boubacar. He's Cameroon international. He's scored, I think, in every Cameroon game so far. He scored 2."
4 goals in 2 games. He's equaled a Samuel Eto'o record.
Yeah. The geezer is on fire.
Against Ethiopia, he got 2. I saw.
Sorry, James. Sorry, mate. Go on.
No, just saying. I think he equaled the Samuel Eto'o record. That's all.
And he's a quality player. I think that definitely someone that we should look into because if we don't, or we wait for the summer and we start dithering, or we wait until the end of August, someone else would snap him up. He's the sort of player that will get snapped up in the Premier League, like a Palace or a Leicester or an Everton or a Villa or someone that needs a striker.
Right, we're coming. Yeah, we're coming to the end. 1 hour 25. Amazing discussions with 3 good knowledge you guys have got, and Yes, what 20th? Yeah, 10 days to go, and then after Man United game, yeah, bit of a break. So yeah, see what happens. I mean, we can see what clubs are doing. Arsenal, Tottenham last night. I don't. Oh my god, I even forgot about that. Oh my
Oh,
days.
don't.
Oh,
Oh, mate.
oh man.
No. Do you know what? I just needed Ben Davis to get a card, and I would have won 280 quid. And
I think
and then that Harvey
Leaks.
Barnes come on. I was like, lovely winger, run down the wing, run at Ben Davis, run at him. And then
they
he was on the
they
left,
were open, mate. Leicester had no
Oh.
CDMs, mate. Poor.
That Tielemans is
Absolute.
absolute jokes.
Do you
Mate,
think the goal?
Shit.
He looked decent before.
Do you think
I
that
liked
Dutch guy,
him.
Matt? Do you think he should have been sent off, that Dutch guy, 94th minute for pushing
100%.
someone on the floor?
Yeah,
100%.
Well,
No
yeah,
doubt.
I mean, it's
I've-
one of those
I've
ones,
seen-
mate, that I think the ref was scared to give it. I think the ref got scared, to be honest.
No, you'd be scared to give it at the beginning, Matt. Not in the 94th minute, mate. It doesn't matter. But
Yeah, but I just think with what, yeah, I know.
I'm
I
just
think
getting
it's just-
97
done,
minute
that's-
Watford.
Soyuncu and Vestergaard. I mean, they're like bloody Diop and Dawson. Those
We
two.
should have got that Carabao Cup game at Spurs called off. We didn't have Antonio. We didn't have any striker. They would have called it off, and if Kane was, we're just no. We're not.
Yeah,
We're not godly enough to finish
We're
top
not that
four.
sort of
I can't
club.
see it. I can't see it, mate.
We're-
No way.
We're like England in internationals when we used to come up against the foreign teams.
Well, when our manager, we get to the final against an aging Italian team who plays 7 defenders. Yeah, brilliant. Well
and
done.
they play tactical and they dive on the floor and try and get a centre off. Any little
And then,
touch,
and then you take your best player off in the final. Brilliant.
Yeah, and then they
Even
slow the game down and whatnot. But we don't do that. England's the same. West Ham are the same. We don't
No.
do them.
no
silly little
penalties.
tactical
No.
things.
Yeah. Absolutely bang
And
on
don't get
it,
me wrong,
mate.
like I'm very passionate about football. I hate cheating, and I think simulation. I think deceiving a referee in general, whether it's trying to get a corner when you know it's not yours, a throw-in when you know it's not yours. I mean, I'll do it in Sunday League, yeah. But for professional, I think it's absolutely shocking. Like how they get away with it.
That's a good comment. Hats off to Leeds. Yeah, I think I didn't in my videos of Leeds. Yeah, I should have given them should have mentioned them a bit more. I just focus on our club. So definitely a lot of good comments from their fans in the videos. Yeah, a lot
Definitely.
of support. Don't forget 8,500 the week before. They all came back again. I mean, yeah, sold out, didn't they?
They were noisy. They were. I mean, they're noisy anyway. They could have had 4,000 or 5,000 in that first game, in that cup game, and probably still would have been louder than us.
James,
Massive
final
win.
words from you, James. Taking up a lot of your time other side of the world. Any final comments? Close up from you, son.
No, let's just keep our eye on the transfer window for the next few days, and then we'll make a judgment on February the 1st.
Matt, closing
See.
words from you.
I'll be happy with 1, maximum 2 right now, mate, and just gotta sit tight and hold out. But we're all in the same boat, all of the clubs, so can't get too stressed.
Well, my KFC is on the way. I've ordered it.
Nice.
The missus has gone out to meet her friend.
Was
So,
it cheat day today, Daz?
No, I've been all right. I think the boys wanted the Zinger burger. Was it Zinger Tower Burger meals? I've gone for the piece.
He's gone for the
chicken piece
popcorn
meal.
chicken snack box, isn't he, Jaz?
No, chicken piece meal and then something.
Gone
on
for
the
a side salad.
No, none of that.
Yeah,
So
we know you're going vegan January and that, and doing dry January that you've.
no, even this morning I was smashing the Linda McCartney burgers. I mean, I've tried it. Obviously the rum didn't stop. I mean, it did for a while, but then
just while you was eating.
While you're sleeping.
No, it's all good, lads. Thanks a lot.
Hey,
for the
when he's
report
asleep,
again.
he's on like he's fed with a drip. He's got it constantly into him.
Look, I do fasting. I don't know if you know about fasting.
I heard it's
And-
really good, man. I heard it's
and
really good.
and I'm on 68 hours without eating anything, just water and black coffee.
Man, leave it out. What?
Is that,
That's
Matt,
what
is
I'm
that,
doing, lose weight.
is that the same fasting as what
Well, you only meant to do it for a day,
Muslims
didn't
do, during Ramadan? So you don't eat or drink while the sun's up.
Yeah, that's like an intermittent fasting style. This is a longer fast. This is going to be a 4-day fast. I normally
Man,
do
leave
that.
it out. You're nuts.
So
Yeah,
you
man.
so you only consume water
Jesus.
in
Water, and I drink black coffee too because that's my vice. So, but yeah, so
But But Matt, I
I'm
wouldn't, because
nearly-
you're just getting better from. I wouldn't do it yet, mate. Seriously, you're just getting better, aren't
Oh.
you?
Yeah, I know.
Do you know
but
what?
that ship sailed, mate. That ship sailed.
Which ship's
They'll
coming in
only
now
make your
then?
body better.
No, you know what? I actually have rheumatoid arthritis. I suffer from rheumatoid arthritis, which is like a general inflammation. So it actually does help to control inflammation levels. You know, fasting. You know, so that's the reason I mainly do it. Not for health, not for vanity or anything. Mainly just for that. And I do it occasionally, like a 3-day fast, a 4-day fast. When I'm on a flare, I throw it in, and it helps a lot. Can't complain.
It's not a bad thing to do. It's like detoxing your body, and
Yeah.
obviously you've just recently recovered from COVID, it will help in the long run. It will help rebuild that body.
Yeah, mate. And you do get fucking hungry at some point. So Jesus Christ.
Listen, if I'd walked in with a KFC bucket, you've had it, mate. You ain't gonna survive.
I have to brush my teeth about 20 times a day, so I have some
I know
sort
what
of
you
flavour in
mean.
my mouth.
I know. Anyway, we're going to close up. So thank you
Yeah.
to everyone here, and we're going to
No
catch
worries.
up in another.
Great
couple
to
of
see you
days.
guys.
We will. Great to see you.
Bye bye.
Boys.